Hey everybody, how are you guys doing today? I'm here to show you guys how to put together a competent MyTeam in NBA 2K13. Obviously, this mode is a lot of fun if you know how to play it and you have a good team. This team that I'm going to show you how to put together, you should be able to do with the amount of money that, or VC I guess, that your original pack that you got at the beginning of this mode was worth. So you want to go through there and, you know, find the players you want to keep and find the one that's worth a lot. For instance, I had Earl Clark and I got rid of him. He was worth like 5,000. Anyway, I'm rambling. So here's my starting lineup. Jordan Crawford. He's pretty cheap and he's a good player. He has good dribbling, and he can shoot the three. The three is critical in this mode because everybody shoots threes, so you should be able to keep up. So obviously we have Jordan Crawford. He's a silver player, only 50 salary, and then he's starting at my point guard position. And then we have JaVale McGee at my starting center. He's a great rebounder, and he can put the ball back if you miss jump shots or anything like that, so he's a good starting center. Rebounding is key. And then for my starting power forward, I have Chris Wilcox. He's also a good rebounder, and he can finish on the inside if you miss shots and things like that. So he's a good cheap pick to pick up. JaVale's about 1,000, something like that. So is Jordan Crawford. He's about 1,500. Chris Wilcox, I think I bought him for 500, but I think he's up to 900, which still is really cheap for what he can do. Then I have Marco Bellinelli starting at shooting guard. He has a really, really good feeling three-point shot, and he's not a bad defender and all of that, so he's a good pickup. And then Steve Novak at starting small forward, and also he's a great three-point shooter. If you know anything about the NBA, you'd already know that, though. So then on the bench, and I think before we go there, Marco Bellinelli was about 250. He's not very much. He's very cheap. And so is Steve Novak. I think he's about 250 as well. Then we have Anthony Morrow as my sixth man. He's a great three shooter. He was 250 about. Yeah, he's at the lower end of the salary range or VC cost range. Then we have Terrence Ross. He's a good three shooter, a good defender. I just couldn't get him to work in my starting lineup, so I brought him off the bench. He's a good investment. I'd say he's about somewhere in the 1,000 range, like 1,000, not quite 2,000. He's not that much expensive. And then we have Enes Kanter. He's a good rebounder. He can finish on the inside, and he's tall, so he's good to bring off the bench and stuff like that. He's a good pickup. He's about 250. Nobody remembers him. I think he's injured, though, so you might not be able to pick him up. Marcus Teague, he's a good off-the-bench point guard. He came in my original pack. He's one of the few originals I have left on my team. Yeah, he's good at dribbling and passing and stuff like that. He's 250 if you want to pick him up. Nice option off the bench. Then we have Travis Outlaw. He was also a original for me. He's a good three shooter, a solid defender. He's about I don't know. I think he's about 950. I'm not sure on Travis because I didn't buy him, but I don't know if you really want to pick him up. You could probably swap him with anybody. And then I have Tony Bennett. You can't really pick him up on the marketplace, and he's not the Tony Bennett that my grandfather used to listen to. Yeah, I got him in a pack, but really you could replace him with any lower salary point guard. He's not really that special. He's very replaceable. And then we have John Lure as another backup power forward, and he's a big man. He can rebound pretty well. He can put the ball back if you miss a shot, and he can shoot from outside. He's good at that mid-range jumper near the three, or even from behind the line. So I would suggest you take a look at him. And one more tip about this mode that I've found extreme success. Before I go to that, this team recently I just beat a team that had LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Carmelo Anthony, and Terrence Ross, and a few other silvers. I don't remember who they were. And I was beating him by, I think, like 25 before he rage quit. So this is a solid team. It's very solid, and I would suggest you make something very similar to this. And my suggestion is, when you start the game, right after tip-off or right before tip-off, go to defensive settings in that start menu and hit the right trigger. I don't know what it is on PS3, but I'm sure it's similar. And you just hit the right trigger until you see something that says close out on shooters under defensive settings, obviously. And your guys will play great defense on shooters, and people won't make shots. So that's my suggestion to having a good MyTeam. And I hope you guys like this. Leave me a like if you do. If you don't, then sorry I couldn't help. Have a great